Live back at you, West Coast Unplugged. I'm Bo Daniel, and that's
Cole Daniel.
God damn, you got it. God bless you. Good evening, people. Saturday night, we got some new merch out for you guys. West Coast Unplugged with the electric blue lightning bolt. I'm having my first cup of coffee in it.
I haven't got mine yet, but I was planning on stopping by and grabbing one.
Killer. And we got some for charter members in our group that show up every week. And we love you guys. Thanks for showing up. And thanks for listening to us. We enjoy doing this. And it sounds like some people out there actually enjoy listening. So that makes us really motivated to keep doing it. Right, Cole?
That's right. Gino hit me up last week. And dude hits me up every Monday. Dude, where's the West Coast at? Dude, I'm waiting for it. So, Gino, we got a mug coming your way, brother.
Hell yeah, we got one for Gino and Matthew and JoJo. But I got the same thing from Quan. Quan too. I got one for Quan.
Well, so what happened last week, Dad? What happened? What happened to us last week?
Last week, we showed up here and we did a side caucus on what to talk about, and we ended up just bullshitting, about our week, about what's going on in our personal lives, like we do here. We should have just hit record because by the time we were done. Well, you said it. I didn't think of it. You said it after we were done, and I thought, okay. Oh shit, that's pretty. You're right. Sometimes, but you got to be careful. We're not that interesting people, but we are a father and son deal, and passing down knowledge or kicking knowledge up. Either way it goes, we are here to inform people of certain things.
Last week we drew a blank. We came in. We turned on our cameras. We had lights, cameras, actions rolling. We talked it up, and we both just didn't have nothing good to really talk about or cover. Really, I mean, we had good stuff we ended up talking about, but we just really didn't have nothing groundbreaking to cover. And we were like, hey, let's not put out a shitty episode for our fans. And then we ended up having a really good conversation, which kind of sucked because I think you guys would have enjoyed the conversation. But that's all right. We learned from our mistakes, and we're gonna just press record next Saturday and just keep it rolling.
I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do is make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I do it all day at work, Yeah. And that's just the way it goes, But sometimes I am an overthinker, and my son is a lot like me, which makes him an overthinker. So sometimes, are we being too cautious because we're afraid of failure? Or are we being too cautious? Are we just overthinking what's really going on? You can always look back in reflection and see what you should have did, right? Everybody does that. Who doesn't do that, right?
That's right. We're figuring out day by day, in the moment.
Nobody wants a shitty episode, but anyways.
Ain't nothing worse than tuning into your favorite podcast and listen to a bunch of bullshit and be like, fuck these guys. These guys are fucking Hollywood now, We're not trying to be Hollywood. We're trying to keep it real and keep it straight. Keep
it real and keep it straight sounds good to me. Honesty is where you go. People are drawn to honesty at this point because everything, the American dream is over. It's all lies. I mean, you could just punch holes in anything. Here it is. Now they're coming out on X saying Nick Shurley was a government plant. Did you hear this, Cole?
I didn't hear nothing about it, but I got pulled up on chat right here talking about Nick Shurley. But go ahead and cover that, Dad.
Well, I have this gal in the Leah files. And this gal, I think I mentioned her on here before, and she is she worked for the CIA for 20 years, and her job was to go into businesses and pull I think it was called the 909 tax form. She said, that's what you need to pull every time. Don't even pull around. Don't mess with nothing. You go for the 909 and you track it. You reverse engineer this shit, right? And you take it backwards. And then you start to find the NGOs. Then you start to find where the money's at. Then you start to find out who's drawing a salary from the NGO. And you reverse engineer it till it's following the money, but you're doing it backwards, right? And this chick's really smart. And remember I told you, Cole, you wouldn't say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you told me about this chick, but I'm just confused on like the 909. What the hell is a 909? Is this like she's tracing money from what they're spending, what they're doing with it?
I think it's a 999 or a 909. I forget what it is, Cole. I could be wrong. If somebody knows, they can put it in the chat. But it's like your W-2 form, right? It's just a tax form for a giant business, right?
Now, are they cutting money, or is she trying to figure out like why are they spending this money?
They're looking for fraud, and so what you do is you pull this tax form that they have to file for whatever it is.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's a NGO or, maybe a certain entity has to have this certain tax form. She knows it. She pulls it and she reverse engineers. She's really good.
She traces the money back to where it's what's really going down.
And she says there's red flags. She just starts.
Okay.
She just starts putting red flags everywhere. Here. It
like
goes back.
PG&E at your house when they got to replace a fucking line.
Speaking of those bastards, Gavin cut them a deal that they don't have to be liable for any fires before he leaves office. He just cut it.
Dude, I'm going to be pissed if Gavin's president in my lifetime. That's for damn sure.
Oh, well, I mean, hey,
I see it coming. It's already here. Hey, mark us down, guys, because fucking we're saying West Coast Unplugged. Gavin's going to be president, and we're going to be bitching about it for 4 years. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that's not even a scary thought. It's reality at this point. You know, they force fed us so much shit. And oh yeah, my hero Mayor Thorpe from Antioch has just been indicted. I seen that on X as well and on the news. So,
by Gavin?
Good. No, he was. It was some deal with what's that big home builder out there?
KB Homes?
Not huh?
KB Homes?
No, it's Sino. That dude is corrupt as all get out. And he built a bunch of monstrous houses in Antioch back when Antioch was popular and shit. He's had a lot of shady dealings, and there's a big family of them. But yeah, there was a lot of backroom deals, and so they jammed up Thorpe on some money misgivings. He's being indicted right now as they speak. Go ahead.
Now, Dad, what does indicted mean? Because I don't even know what indicted means.
An indictment coming down means you're going to have to show up to court. It doesn't prove you're innocent, doesn't prove you're guilty. It's an indictment saying you must stand before the court magistrate for this. Right?
Okay, so it's kind of like a warrant to show up for court almost.
Pretty much, yeah. They're telling you, these are the charges that have been subjected against you. Doesn't make them fucking true, doesn't make them false. They don't really arrest you, I don't think. It's like getting subpoenaed to court, basically, right?
Gotta show up and speak your side of the story here.
Yeah, good luck, Thorpe.
Thorpe's indicted. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, that guy fucked up. That guy fucked up Antioch right proper.
This dude's
proper, old Thorpe.
Fuck. Well, I'm looking forward to staying tuned on that, dude. We're gonna have to stay tuned on some heavy Thorpe.
Current affairs, you gotta have them.
East Bay area, coming to your local radio station.
That's it. So, anyways, what was I jabbering about, Cole? Before Thorpe?
Shit. Fuck, the American Dream, Thorpe. There's something in between there, though.
Okay, the Leah Files. Thank you for interrupting and stopping. You're great at that. So the Leah Files, right? So she goes through, she's an investigator. She worked for the CIA for 20 years or something like that. I don't know, some amount of time, but now she's a private, it's like a private PI, private investigator, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so she's hired to go in and investigate people, and she has her own business now, right? And she's a expert in fraud, and she can bring the receipts real quick and get results real quick, right? So this is really cool. She's super detailed, and she does deep dive. She doesn't get paid on X. She's not a brand. She's not a influencer or nothing like that. But she did come out and say that Nate Shurley was a plant, and I thought, what the hell? And they said they were feeding this dude all the stories, and he was showing up to be a internet sensation. And I was just like, okay, this kid was a Mormon. He didn't have no bad history, no child porn, no fucking, usually they come up with some bullshit on you and get you, if they don't want you around. Well, this kid, didn't have nothing to hide. He had no sketchy background that they could trace.
Okay.
And so I guess it's coming out on X today that this dude was pretty much a government plant getting these stories kind of handed to him, and he would show up there, right? And they made it look organic. He was with his buddy, and they were busting Somalia fraud and this and that. He's been to the White House. I mean, is this bullshit or what? I mean, who the fuck do you believe? Everybody was Nate Shurley, the Leering Center, right? Now it's coming out. I mean, there was a lot of people saying, yes, he is. Yes, he is. His parents were busted for fraud. They went bankrupt. All this shit. They started listening. She did a deep dive on it, and she did say that I've been saying this for quite some time. So it's like, okay, we should write this down so we could come back next week and update you on what I find out. This is breaking, so I don't have much information. I'm just putting it out there to keep you all informed. That's what I do.
Well, now Nick Shurley, what was this guy into? What was this guy's like thing? Was he a politician? Was he a business dude?
You don't know this kid?
No, I have no idea who the fuck this guy is.
Oh my God, dude! Didn't you read the notes before we started the show? Golly!
What I got is he was originally exploded nationally with his Minnesota fraud investigation in December 2025. So I'm thinking, is this the guy that was investigating the Somalian?
Yes.
You got to break it down to the viewers, Dad, because a lot of people my age have no idea who these people are.
Okay, so Nick Shurley's young kid, maybe 20-something years old, goes out there with an iPhone and a stick, and he starts telling, I want to take little Johnny to this Somali daycare. Well, it's a fraud. There is no daycare. They chase him off. They're yelling. They're cussing. All these Somalian people all over Minnesota were pissed off at him, throwing rocks at him, death threats, the whole fucking works. And it started to play up a lot more and a lot more. And so then he goes to L.A., right? He said, I'm coming to California. I'm dropping a banger. And everybody's like, oh, we can't wait. I mean, so he goes to this fucking daycare center and he goes, look, they can't even spell learning right on the fucking sign above the, it looked like an old shut down Kmart with a sign on top.
Okay, right. Because Dad, there was these learning centers, there were these daycares that people were getting funded for by the government, and it wasn't even a learning center, correct?
Right.
That was the thing all over the United States.
Right.
And so now what? We have this guy that comes in and he starts reporting on these things, and that's Nick Shurley. He's like, hey, who are these daycares and what are they doing? Was that who Nick Shurley is?
Ambush journalism, right? This kid's just out there like me and you kind of here on YouTube, just kind of starts this little thing.
Okay.
He's just a hobby, right? He's like, what do you call those dickheads that go into buildings and they cause a big disturbance? Some Karen gets pissed off and starts yelling at him.
Yeah, right.
That type of shit.
Sovereign citizen.
Cool. Yeah. I think they call them auditors or whatever, and they just go fuck with people with cameras and people get all bent out of shit.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like that, right? But what he did was he was investigating fraud. Hey, where's all this money going to? There was a little bit of smoke, and he started fanning it and, creating a big firestorm. So he looks on the sign, he goes, they can't even spell learning right. It says leering, right? They left the...
right, okay.
And so... he has these hoodies made. People are buying them left and right. Everybody's Nick Shurley, the new. Now, this is before the war kicked off, right? So it was take America back, drain the swamp, all this horse shit they're feeding us. We're getting these guys. The Democrats are going down. All this shit. Well, then it comes up. Now he goes to L.A. and he's interviewing the people on it. Now Congress passes a law against him. You can't fucking record and put people. On YouTube for fraud, right? So Congress or California's trying to, pass this law. So it's like they're feeding. Is this real information or is this misinformation? This is what's become the American nightmare. It's all censored, it's all suppressed, and everybody's wore out with it. Now, after all this shit, we think this kid's a superhero. And he ends up going to Cuba, right? And someone said, I knew when he went to Cuba, it was bullshit, right? They showed him in Cuba. It looked sketchy as fuck, right? I mean, it looked real. I don't know if he was really there or not there.
Right, okay.
And they're saying the electricity's out in Cuba. This was after they captured that Maduro dude and all that shit. And Venezuela was giving them oil, running drugs. There was this big narrative going on between Cuba and Venezuela. They said the only way Cuba was surviving was through Venezuela. And there were some drug connections in between them, but mostly it was because Venezuela was supporting them with the oil because Cuba kind of got exiled from everybody, right?
Okay.
So he goes down there. This is after Maduro falls from Venezuela, right? So they're saying it's getting worse by the day. He goes down there and he said, it's really bad. I'm being followed and all this shit. And now that lady said that did look a little fishy. I did watch that one, right? But
became more of a narrative and a story versus the solo dude going down here doing shit.
Well, poo-poo, right? So, start looking around. I don't know, but what you're scrolling through shit a mile a minute, right? Doom scrolling, whatever. So anyhow, Cole, I come across it today, and she has said it. I think she said it before, but this chick has pointed to things like the flock cameras are owned by BlackRock and Vanguard. These are big, huge corporations. They said Trump put money into it, but they said, but it's actually for Flock was put up there to fail because Axum actually makes the body cams, the tasers, and all the shit for the police. And that's who they really want. So they wanted to put Flock up there, get everybody pissed off, get Flock out of the way, and go to Axum and put that, I think they call it the Falcon camera. I guess it's this new camera out. And they're just going to put it in light pole lamps, and it just does a 360 license reader, everything, AI, face recognition, everything. So they already planned to have that one fail, so they could come out with another one, And on top of that, did you hear this?
So it's all bullshit.
It's all smoke and mirrors because they actually have a bigger agenda down the road. So they put some money into this one. They knew it was going to fail. They're betting against it.
Fucking motherfuckers.
I mean, it just
that's what
stop,
they do, dude. It's a psyop.
Yeah,
it's a psyop, right. And then they do a psyop on a psyop for a bigger psyop.
Whatever, So that's what I know. That's what I've heard. And there's serious people out there really watching. And, like I said, you have to find some people you trust. But like this kid, I didn't have no reason not to trust him. I thought this kid was, legit out there doing his thing.
Fucking local war hero.
Yeah, right. And they're
this kid was fucking set up by fucking the Rothschilds
to stop this guy. Yeah, and everybody's like, "What the hell?" I mean, it's just like fueling this anger. Our tax dollars, 400.
Well, because here's this guy that's reporting shit, and it's like, "Hey, this is our guy," and then now it's like, "No, we're gonna crack down on this guy." But then now everyone's angry. They're cracking down on this guy. And then here enough is that's what they wanted the whole time, to crack down on you because they cracked down on the guy.
Everybody in the comments said it was textbook playbook. This is all playbook. It's all been done.
Yeah, it's Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, dude. Patrick Mahomes setting you up, dude. We're gonna hook, line, and sinker you, dude. And how can you keep up? Fuck, how can you keep up, dude?
Fade left, hook right. On three.
Over here.
Right.
Got the right hook coming for you.
Yeah, so people are starting to really dissect this shit and get down with it. And I love it. It's super interesting.
Yeah, that is.
So that was there was something else in there I really wanted to touch on.
Is it something to do with immigration?
No. They said
he's testifying before the Senate Homeland Security?
Bro, before I forget, that fucking Spanish invasion we talked about on a couple of episodes, they were unloading them by the truck full. It was all planned. That was a totally paid actor deal.
Oh, it's like, let's get all these guys on videotape.
Remember we said we weren't sure if it was real or fake?
Yeah.
It looked hella fake. Sure as shit, it was fake. They got some real video on these fuckers. They're just jumping out. They show a truck pull up, and they got a bunch of guys jumping out, all wearing board shorts. No big. They're all 15, 16 to 22, maybe. Just running around going, acting stupid. It was like hell. But they said it's back now. They're doing it again. Remember that lasted 24 hours when that happened. And we were talking about it. Breaking news went away the next day. Everybody got back in the truck and went on back home. And now they said they're back. So, how do you keep up with this world,
Dude, I just sit back and watch, man. I observe and report.
Yeah, well, that's what we got to do here because nobody else seems to be doing it. You got to really get after it. But
PR and safety, dude. You got to have it.
Yeah, so then we got another huge one, dude. Now, say what you want. This person is very controversial, Colt, and that's Candace Owens.
Yeah, I know Candace.
So there for a while, everybody was convinced she was crazy. She's the one that said that Macron in France, he's the prime minister over there, and she was saying that, his wife had a dick or whatever, right?
Okay.
And I guess President Trump called her directly and said, "Hey, look, I'm trying to iron out some shit with France. You need to cut it out." He asked me personally to call you. And she talks about it on her podcast, and you're like, whoa, Go ahead.
Are you able to give any background on Candace Owens? Was this a news reporter, kind of like Tucker? Or was she like an independent person, an independent journalist?
So she teams up. She's doing some light journalism. She's doing something else. She teams up with Charlie Kirk. She goes on tour in the beginning with Charlie Kirk and tours all over the campuses with them. They're debating. They're out there. They're doing it. She's a heavy Catholic woman, big belief. I watched her on Sean Ryan, so I got a lot of her backstory because, I would see her and I'd think, oh, this chick's kind of nuts. She'd be on Tucker here, but it was like they were really pushing on this lady to not take her serious. They did not want her around. She's hella smart and she brings the receipts every time. So this was a person that was in the limelight, dropped out, went on her own, and then everybody tried to cancel her, right? Well, she's risen above it. She stayed the course, and now people are like, oh, wait a minute. This chick's making a lot of sense. She's calling out foreign countries. She's calling out presidents. She's calling out prime ministers. She's questioning everything.
Damn.
And not in a mean, deceitful way either. She's really classy.
In a matter-of-fact way, almost.
No, she's not punky. She's not bitchy. She's real classy, well-spoken, really smart. So it's attractive, right? It's really something, you get two sides to each story. You get people saying, oh, she's nuts. Oh, can she shut up? You see it all over in these podcasts. You see it all over.
Yeah.
She's been on Rogan. She's been on Theo. She's been on Tucker. She's done them all. And, but nobody would touch her when she was, kind of like being canceled. Anyways, she's Charlie Kirk's right-hand man. I mean, she's like the secret weapon, right? And they're out there working. She goes, I think it was like 3 years she toured with this dude, right? This was in the beginning before I really knew what Charlie Kirk was about and what she was about. She wasn't even in the picture. So they end up splitting. She gets married, has a family. He keeps going. They stay in contact, this and that. Dude gets assassinated. And there's some big questions that people want to know the answers to. One, is this guy real that did it? They're showing the video. They got these heavy, Benny Johnson comes out and says, I seen the video. It's 100% him. Bullshit.
Fauci.
Dude, these are big people. These are big, important people on X that are newscasters and stuff like that. This dude, they're finding these people are lying, dude. I mean, Candace Owens is proving these people wrong. Or at least she could sway a jury. She could sway one person. I guarantee you that. She could sway one person to not buy this shit they're saying. And they don't want her. They don't like her. And they don't want her asking questions. So everybody that's TPUSA, right? That is all the leftovers after Charlie left. It's his wife and it's all the people that work there, right? And there's some, go ahead.
Well, and then, and not to get too into religion or politics and shit like that, but I have seen conspiracies on Charlie's wife. I think we touched on this. Did we touch on this, Dad? Or is this off camera? This might have been off camera, but they're saying like Charlie Kirk's wife was like baked into a heavily Jewish family.
Not only that, but it just her actions after it, it's another two-sided story.
Her parents are like deep into like government politics. I know that for sure. They're it's like
father was heavily involved with the White House at some point, and I believe they did say he was of Jewish faith or something. But these are comments, so you got to take this shit with a grain of salt.
Right, 100%, 100%.
I'm not gonna vouch for that. I always thought this girl was solid, but everybody's like, hey, she's an 11 and he's about a 5.5 at best, right?
This dude wasn't pulling this, yeah.
So whatever, that's just a visual. It doesn't mean nothing to it.
This guy's a fucking nerd. This guy's not handling this fucking piece of fucking ass.
But hey, there's people out there that are attracted to money, so I mean, what the hell,
Yeah, but I don't think that guy was making money. I think it was a non-profit thing that guy was doing too. So it was more so about the spoken word.
It was a lot of money, but once he said no on the Iran war and no for Israel to get involved, it wasn't long after that.
But Candace Owens is stepping up for him, right?
So she says, I have questions. It started out as small questions. Hey, well, I mean, what about the big questions, right? The dude runs over and pulls the SIM cards out of the camera right away while the guy's on the ground. You know what I mean? And these guys are already running around, like covering their tracks and shit. And, it's real creepy, man. It's real creepy. And so one of these guys, top of the security, went on Sean Ryan, and it's coming out that this guy said way too much. This guy is having to eat all his words on there, and they are picking this dude apart like a fucking buzzard, right? I mean, it's bad. It's bad. They're getting, this guy's starting to look really bad. He probably shouldn't have did that, but Candace was really tight with this guy, and she said it's her duty to question why her friend got killed, and she wants to know, and she's
fucking 100 goddamn %.
Right. So like they're trying to suppress these people. It's like, no, you're stupid. How could you're anti-Semite if you ask that question? It's like, no, these are valid. A 30-06 right here. They said that would fucking almost take your fucking head clean off. That's what you shoot a fucking deer with. And they got guys on Instagram and X and shit, and they're shooting fucking,
300 wing mags and shit.
Went as far as to shoot a fucking pig's head to see what it would do to it after it went through like fucking 4 cinder blocks. It blew through 4 cinder blocks. And, I mean, it's just like, this shit is fucking,
Shit's not adding up.
You don't need to be a fucking engineer to figure this out, right?
Yeah.
So that's just some of them. Now it's getting to the point, why were you calling these people instead of giving the guy CPR? Why weren't you fucking, focusing on the victim? Now they're saying that the hospital that they took him to had the day before had everybody moved out of that wing. I mean, it was like kind of like a complete cover up. That's what they're really trying to point to. And most people are saying, oh, conspiracy, conspiracy, people are wacko, this and that. And it's like, I don't feel that way at all. I think these are valid questions. I would like to know why they did this. And
that guy Charlie, he brought up a lot of good, valid points. He was open for discussion and open for debate and just talking. That was the biggest thing I think it would crush a lot of people. Was like, hey, this guy was just speaking his mind.
Huge Christian faith. He's the one that says get married, have kids, buy a home, this type of shit.
He believed in the book. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it was, I didn't catch on to him towards the end, but, it was, you're talking about, you think about that time period, right? This was, if you weren't for the, Alphabet Mafia, you were a fucking, white hate group, and it was just like, what? It was just like they were pushing this agenda at that time that it was okay to transition your kids at a certain age. I mean, it was fucking whack fucking time, right?
Yeah.
America was coming to a fucking skid then, right?
This guy was standing up for shit. Yeah, 100%.
Bro, stop. You're mutilating young kids and you don't even know the fucking long-term effects on this shit. Come to find out there is long-term effects. Come to find out most of those kids commit suicide. Come to find out, they need a cycle. Jordan Peterson said at very fucking least, you got to have a psychological evaluation at 18. Forget fucking anything under that.
Yeah.
They're taking rights from parents and saying, oh, the green-haired counselor at the fucking middle school said it's okay. We're going to contact the fucking child protective service.
Like, hey, you can chop your dick off at fucking 14, but you can't go shoot a gun overseas. I mean, on a stupid fact like that, yeah, people bring that up. I mean, that's a point, though.
Bro, they were suppressing these stories like you wouldn't believe. Like, you get two parents that fucking split up. Kid's going through a divorce. He's confused. He's upset. She's upset. Whoever the fuck it is, fill in the blank on that. But then they go see the counselor and they said, oh, well, I mean, they're pushing this shit at these schools like, like it's the thing to do. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. So this lady, this counselor, pushes this kid to do it, tells the mother. The father's flipping the fuck out, right? The father's like, hey, wait a minute. No, let the father out. Kid went through with it. I mean, that's how hard they were pushing.
And there has been people that come out like, hey, this is like I remember me and you talking shit maybe a year ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but we were talking about it. I was like, hey, this kid came out and said, hey, this is the worst decision I ever made in my life.
That she was on Rogan. It was a girl.
Yeah.
Said she fucking could never have kids. And they said, I think it was a fucking like 45 surgeries later.
Just on the basics of it, dude. Like, you're going to change your whole body at an age where your frontal lobe's not fully developed yet, and you're going to do a fucking life-altering decision, and they're going to allow it. Like, what the fuck?
Selling bags of shit to American citizens, and we're supposed to buy them and go along with it. It's crazy. A lot of people did. Look at COVID. Who didn't go along with COVID? Who didn't get fucking forced into COVID? Kids getting... They said they're coming out now that they're saying that these fucking nurses, there was 2 of them, yeah, somewhere back east, right? them. They were nurses, both pregnant. They were friends, pregnant at the same time. The hospital said, we will lay you off if you do not get the COVID vaccine. And the girl says, hey, I'm exempt. I'm pregnant. They said, no, that's not, that's not. She said, fuck this. I'm out. Fucking, kiss my ass. I'm out of here. The other gal wasn't financially stable to do it. She did it, and she had a stillborn baby. And the other girl delivered a healthy baby, the one that didn't get it. I mean, if that's not enough, that one story alone, I mean, people should be held
enough,
to the highest fucking standard for that right there. I mean, it was just, and she said they could barely be friends. The lady can't see her kid. It's the same age.
And then to have Fauci go up and stand against the court hearing, hand against the Bible, and not say nothing. What a fucking fraud.
Bastard. Anyways, so yeah, the things, this media and this.
So what's going on with Candace Owens though, Dad? Because what she's doing a debate with I think it says Patrick David's hosting it, and it's Candace versus Andrew Wilson.
Yes,
and they're talking about it right now.
Right,
and so this is what they're covering.
I think it was on Candace's platform, and it was Eastern Standard Time.
It says it's on the PBD podcast. I'm not familiar with it, but that's what it says. It's on the PBD podcast.
So PBD is Patrick Bet David, and this dude has a podcast, and this dude's like no other. This dude from Iran, fled Iran during the I think it was a revolution they had there in the 70s, moved to New York, grew up in New York, served in the military for our side, went on to be an outstanding fucking salesman. But this dude started a podcast and started interviewing the most dangerous people in the world, right? It's Sammy the Bull, it's fucking Genevieve's family, it's Francesi, all these. It started out as a lot of gangster people, right? A lot of mafia, a lot of ex-gang members and shit like that. Well, then he kind of started moving around and getting into other people, and he's really good. He's really fair, and he's super interesting. This dude's always been good. He's always been good. But he's added some people to his show, and these two dickheads on there, Adam and Vinny, they're the fucking worst people. They'll bring the show to a screeching halt every time. They have nothing to add. They're fucking stupid as shit. I don't recommend that. Mute that part. But he's got an older guy on there that's like really knowledgeable. He's like Jamie on Rogan, where he looks up everything.
Okay, yeah.
And the dude's super well balanced, got a killer point of view. He's like he's following the show and staying in real time. These other guys are fooling around. Anyways, everybody's saying, I'll be the commentator. We want Joe Rogan to be the commentator. Candace comes out and she says, I love Joe. Nothing against Joe. I want an unbiased, because that dude she's debating was just on Rogan, and it was pissing her off even more. And she called him out on X and said, anytime. So I think you had to put up 300,000 to debate, something like that. They both had to put up 300K. So there were stakes in the game, right?
Oh. That's fucking kind of weird.
No, that's gangster as shit, because if you ain't got the cash and you ain't got it to lose, you ain't going to show up.
If you lose the debate, you lose the money? I think so. That kind of seems a little Hollywood to me, though, dude.
Oh, dude, no, this is high stakes, right? This is, hey, show up, throw your money down.
If it's about a morality thing with your friend's death, it's like, that seems like kind of like, why are we?
I'm not sure if that was the truth, Cole, because it said this guy spent 300K to look like an asshole. Everybody was saying it. This dude got smoked. She smokes this guy, hands down on the debate. I only seen small parts, but this is what they were saying. So I'm guessing that, hey, this guy had to bring,
it's like what I have right here. It's the biggest moment was Candace,
right now.
Candace acknowledging that she doesn't have direct evidence that Israel killed Charlie.
Right.
The important distinction is questioning circumstances or presenting suspicious connections isn't the same as demonstrating who committed or orchestrated a murder. So it's like, hey, she's questioning, hey, these are the things, but she doesn't have direct evidence. But it does say the internet immediately started arguing over who won. Alex Jones declared Owens the winner.
Dude, anybody with 2 eyes and ears knows she won. It's not a debate.
Okay,
she
right.
This dude. Hands down. Hiya, killed him. He's done.
And Alex Jones, hey, I love Alex Jones. I haven't listened to him in a long time, but fucking, I love the guy.
He's always for the wacky underdog, always, but he's always right. So I mean, it's just like, love him or hate him, I don't care. That dude's proved a lot of shit right. He's been right on a lot of shit. Anyways, point being, Cole, I kept saying, I'm guessing
I see.
There must have been something in the pot to make it like, hey, I don't want to waste my time doing this. Or Patrick David, for one, because he's like super, this dude's got big dough and he's got a big podcast. He's got, this guy ain't got time to be fooling around.
And Dad, it's also like, dude, this is such a huge topic. If you really think about it, this guy's fighting for Charlie Kirk was fighting for civil rights and freedom and a national or just American rights, right, on a basic level. And he gets assassinated for speaking his mind. And it's like, is there something deeper here? And now this lady is debating on his behalf, and this other person's debating on why it's not that. And this chick's crushing him. And now it's like, hey, this chick's got some heavy evidence against this guy that doesn't have shit. And it's like, dude, this is
maybe not heavy evidence, but she's bringing the doubt that could sway a juror.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She is bringing a doubt. Now, you can't convict somebody if 12 people don't agree that, this is hands down, this happened, we convict this man, he's guilty. If you get one person to bring some kind of doubt, it doesn't go through, right? It's a hung jury, right? So that's what her point is. Let's look at all this evidence. Why aren't they telling us about this? What about this? They've done a deep
dive.
Dad,
what have you told me since I was a kid, dude? 9 times out of 10, when it smells like shit, what is it?
Probably shit.
It's probably shit,
Yeah.
And that seems like that's what we have here. And you got Alex Jones, a big conspiracist, whatever his points are and his takes are. But it's like, hey, this guy's saying, hey, this chick's, and then you got the battle of the conspiracist wild guy that's this whole dude versus the mainstream.
They want her
the
out of
conspiracy's up here, the mainstream's down here, but the mainstream has the political agenda and the political power to push their side up. And I can see it, dude. It makes sense, man.
Independent thinker. This girl is smart. She's got her shit together. She's super chill. She's super classy. She's like not a real big, she's pretty much an open book about everything. And when people speak the truth, I'm drawn to it today. Today, I'm drawn to it. Now, some people, I don't know if they're bullshitting or not, but when you get someone that's honest and has that integrity about them, you're like, I believe this person. For what is it about her that I really believe? Because everybody told me she was a whack job, and who told me? I don't know, but it seemed like everybody on the internet was saying it, right?
Well, it's like,
so you begin.
Hey, what if this chick is right? I mean, what if this chick does have a hunch, right? Like a lot of investigations go, it's a hunch, but sometimes the hunch is fucking legit. And what if this chick is right? And it's like, what if this actually was a setup? What's the American people gonna do? We're going to be fucking outraged. This is bullshit, right? And they don't want us. They don't want that.
Total totalitarianism, right? Remember the government overreach, Cole, we talked about? We gave the definition of where this America is going.
Yeah.
And they have ways to put bots on X to spread an agenda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking... It's not a couple. You're talking about 97,000 bots that are pre-programmed to push a narrative, right?
To look like real people.
Dude, I mean, like all day long, it's just like, what is this shit? Total government control, and that affects the small working man all the way down to us, right? Because they talk about, remember they talked about on that totalitarianism, they talked about language, right? Effective language to sway reality and people's opinion, right?
Yeah, dude.
We're living in this shit all day, every day. And these people know it. And so they're coming out and they're speaking the truth, and they're getting backlash. I mean, she gets death threats. She's, Sean Ryan gave her a dude, brand new sick.
When you're eating fucking McDonald's every day and you're going to work 6 days a fucking week, Fuck, dude, you can't tell the difference. Fuck, you're a dumb sheep just like the rest of us, you know? And it's like, dude, what's really going on? And then you get someone that's like, hey, I kind of feel like this is right, but all these bots are saying this, so I'm going to just go with the bots. And now all of a sudden you're a bot, right?
It's government control, man. It's 100% government control. And they're not going to.
And then you're telling your family members, yeah, I heard about that, but, this is kind of making sense over here on the bot side. And it's like,
I gotta go pick up, my little brat kid at daycare. I don't have time for this. Most people want a meal and a roof over the house and a 9-to-5 job with a 40-hour check.
We're humans, dude. That's all we need is shelter and food and survival.
That's it. They'll take this politics saying or news, information, conspiracy, questioning up to a certain point, and then it becomes too much. You get so overwhelmed. You're like, I don't have time for this shit. It's making my head fucking fall off.
And then they overload you with psyop on top of a psyop. Fuck, I ain't got time to even deal with the first fucking question I had. So fuck it. I gotta take Timmy to school.
Yeah.
And makes total sense to me, Dad.
This has been a huge thing going on this week.
This is great. This is great points.
I've only got little clips here and there on it, so I don't have the whole debate down. But I did see, the ones they posted were the important ones because she smokes this dude, and he's like, "Hey, you're using your phone." She gives her phone right to Patrick David. She says, "Check my phone. Go ahead, read. I don't care. Read whatever you want." And he looks through it. He's like, "No." He goes, "We don't have any messages from since we started or whatever."
I'm gonna look into this because now I'm curious. This seems like good fucking shit. This seems like the best television out,
bro. The worst part about it was this guy just had been on Rogan, and everybody was mad at Rogan because they said Rogan was kissing his ass. That he wasn't, And Joe's Joe. I don't think Joe's a bad interviewer. I think he's pretty good about
I was talking to my buddy today, Dad, about Joe, and it's like he was saying, Joe's taking these sides and he's not asking these questions that we want to hear and these things like this about Joe. And I'm like, dude, I get that, but
I've seen that too. But Cole, he takes it to this point. He doesn't go past that point because once you do, you get pushed into that box and you become that. He doesn't want to do that. It's like Joey Diaz said.
And then also,
I never do political jokes. I never do politics on my show because it divides your audience 50% right off the bat.
Well, and then, Dad, it's like this too, though. Joe Rogan, before his podcast blew up, this guy was a comic. This guy was a host of Fear Factor, which was a gimmick reality show, and he happened to get into UFC because he was into fighting. And it's like this guy just had a podcast, and he just hopped on a podcast once a week and spoke his mind, right? And now he's at a point where he's some political power mover with this thing. Do you think this guy wants to deal with politics? I'm sure he's interested in politics because he's an older age male, and that's what older men do. But it's like, dude, is this guy really want to go deep into politics and really ask hard-hitting questions? This dude's just making a paycheck at the end of the day like the rest of us. It's like, I can't blame the guy for it because what are you supposed to do? And I can see his point of view.
They try to cancel him on COVID for saying taking ivermectin.
People want him to be like this big political guy and standing up and saying, hey, this isn't right and shit. Dude, the guy's fucking done DMT. This guy's a mushroom dude that smokes pot and just wants to enjoy his life with his family and make fucking money so his kids don't have to work. It's like, he's not going to do none of this shit. He's going to have him on. Hey, talk about whatever you want to talk about and let's just have a conversation. If he's not interested in the conversation, he's not going to have you on, And it's like, you can't blame the guy for it. That's how I feel. Like, hey,
I don't.
Maybe I'd like to see him say that, but or ask those hard hitting questions. But like, how can I blame the guy for it, dude? He's just a comic that ended up having a big podcast. It's like this guy's just a normal dude like the rest of us. I think people blow it out of proportion because he's so big now.
I tell you a lot of good things about podcasts is when you get to know someone's personal story. You might not like this person. You have a perspective of this person, and you're like, I hate that band, I hate that comedian, I hate that actor. And they come on there, and they kind of. Howard Stern was the best at this. There was nobody better than this dude because he would bring this person down to a humble level of a regular person, and get all the I wouldn't say embarrassing, but people would open up and say a lot of shit, personal shit that you probably wouldn't, normally say to anybody. And he would get them relaxed and talking. And, before you knew it, this dude was getting into, what his parents were like, this and that, why his dad beat his ass, or, all this shit. I mean, you would hear some heavy shit, right? And Joe, on the other, he lets people just say their story. If it's interesting, he'll ask pressing questions, but he just keeps it at that. It's a conduit for that person to you get to know that. And I've found that a lot of people I didn't care for, after hearing their story, I really liked them. I thought, wow, this guy was really honest and really forthcoming about a lot of anytime you're talking about on a big platform or a radio show like that, and you're being honest about who you are, it makes you a real person. It doesn't make you the person on the screen or the person behind the microphone singing or comedian, whoever it may be,
And it seemed like back in the day, Joe used to ask maybe more of those hard-hitting questions, and now she's like, "Hey, man, just come on here and let's just have a conversation, fucking man to man." And I'm not gonna press you on some shit, dude. Let me just learn how you are as face value. And it's like, dude, that's totally cool, dude. It's like, hey, I can't blame the guy for it, man. It's like, shit. I'd like to hear more, and I'd like to hear the hard-hitting questions, but it's like, like I said, I can see his point of view. If I put myself in his shoes, I can't blame the guy for it.
No, he's got a million different gigs going on, and he's playing it safe and keeping them all. I mean, that guy's got a lot going on. That dude does a lot. He owns that big comedy store, or what is it, the Mothership?
And all these people are like, no, we need you to do this and we need you to do that. And it's like, dude, this guy's like, fuck you, dude. I'm a comic.
Right.
I did comedy for 20 years. I used to do, it's like this. If people don't realize this guy was a comic, this guy's just a fucking average Joe, dude. He's not a fucking, he's Joe Rogan in everyone's eyes, but dude, this guy's an average Joe. It's like, how can you hate the guy?
Free thinker, or critical thinker, right? Critical questions. I don't know, whatever. But that's what I'm saying, Cole, is when you see somebody being honest and genuine, it's attractive today, because so many people are out there. They're so fucking phony. All they want is clicks. They're chasing the money. They're chasing this. It's so phony that it's not just not that entertaining anymore. People want fucking somebody to deliver hard facts. Joe's a smart dude. He retains a lot of shit, and he can get in there with a lot of these geologists, a lot of these scientists, and he can keep the conversation moving with his own knowledge and his own question. You got to respect that, dude. The dude's
but he does hold back a little bit nowadays than what he used to do, and it's like, I'm not a big listen nowadays, but that's cool.
Well, you can bitch about anybody or anything.
Dude paved the way, so fuck it.
That's true too. So, anyways. That's been a hot current affair that's been cooking on X. I haven't got a chance to watch the whole debate. Looks pretty interesting. So that's the backstory. If you guys are looking for it, you could check out Candace Owens on X, or I don't know. I think she only does X. I don't think she's an Instagram.
Look her up. You'll find her for sure. That's for sure.
Patrick David, he's out there. He's on all the platforms. He's out there doing it all, and he's really a genuine dude. Really super cool guy.
I got some shit, Dad. It's with the WNBA, dude. We got sports coming up, dude. We got preseason football, dude. The Raiders were looking good, but this is on the WNBA, and I know you don't keep up with sports that much, Dad, but I'll give you a little background, dude. So there is this white girl that her name was Caitlin Clark, and she's in the WNBA, right? But she came out of college. Yeah, and she came out of college, dude, and she was winning national championships, and this chick was fucking badass. She took the WNBA by storm, and she became the face of the WNBA. No one gives a shit about the WNBA until this chick came in and all of a sudden started playing like Stephen Curry, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, this chick gets to the league, and she gets all this backlash from all these people because, we've been doing WNBA for the past 20 years and no one's cared about us, and we've been getting paid salary like we've been getting paid $80,000 a year for our contracts, and now this chick's here and now she's getting all the shine, and she's a white girl, right? And in basketball, it's predominantly black, right? And that's just the fact of it. And a lot of people, they when she got to the league, she was getting Rookie of the Year. I don't know if she won Rookie of the Year, but she ended up getting a lot of recognition. She ended up like playing against Steph Curry in the NBA's All-Star game for the 3-point contest, and she came close to beating him. This chick's just...
I've seen her. She bangs out the threes all day.
Dude, this chick's badass, right? But at the end of the day, no one cares about the WNBA. And
so that's all you get. Get to the cute one that just joined up. That's on her team now.
Well, I mean,
we're going to add that.
I don't know who you're talking about because now
Cunningham.
the top. Who?
No, yeah, Cunningham, that girl.
Okay, Cunningham, right? Okay, so
you didn't see she joined forces with her. Now now they're the dynamic duo, and they're sticking up for each other, and they're getting smashed all the time. They're not even.
Okay, so that's what I'm kind of getting into because I don't know too much on it, but I know Cunningham was basically whatever. So the backstory is that this chick comes to the league and she gets a bunch of backlash, but now ESPN and all these fucking places, all these big medias are talking about the NBA, the WNBA, because of Caitlin Clark, and
it's not even about Caitlin no more. It's about that Cunningham girl.
That's what I'm getting to. But
sorry.
But so now Caitlin's getting fouled. She's getting all these girls are kind of treating her like shit because they're like they got an edge against her because she's a white girl, and they're like, hey, we've been playing the game, and now this chick comes in, and now everyone's all on this chick's dick, and fucking now we're getting the back burner off this chick, and so they start kind of bullying her, whatever. But now so that's became the big boom is now all these ESPN guys are talking about the WNBA because of this chick, and all the chicks in the league are jealous of this chick, and then now it's became this big thing. So I guess the topic is that in the WNBA contract it says, hey, we're all about giving women the rights to play in the NBA, but they don't have a description or a definition of what a woman is, right? And people are calling it the lesbian league because half of them are fucking lesbian with blue hair and shit, right? Nothing against them, but a lot of them are lesbian. And so you have former NBA players that are like, hey, I want to play in the WNBA.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you're not a woman. But it comes into the transgender issue where it's like, hey, there's transgender.
Who is that guy? Who's the guy that came out and tried to join, Cole? Let
me see. I got it right here, Dad. It's
one of the number one players. This guy was cool. I liked him. He came out and said, well, I feel like being a woman today.
Former NBA players Enes Kanter, Freedom, and Royce White publicly said they intended to declare themselves eligible for the 2027 WNBA draft. And so now this WNBA has become this big thing, and you got all these lesbians and shit playing, and now these dudes are like, hey, we want to join too, because what's the definition of a woman, right? And the WNBA can't declare what a woman is because there's no definition of what a woman is in the WNBA terms. And it's become this whole political thing, and it's become this whole fucking backlash thing on the WNBA. It's all blown up. It's all blown up now. It became this big thing, and women's sports. And now it's like, well, what the fuck's a woman? And it's became this whole blow up now where these dudes are like, hey, I'm a woman, you know? And now they're joining in.
Okay. So that was a long way to get there. I listened to this whole thing. You left out the whole thing about Cunningham. There's the one what's the girl you said, the ugly one that was
Caitlin Clark. She looks like a dude. She looks like my buddy in my fantasy football league.
Right. She's the one who was the front runner. Then they bring in is it Sophia Cunningham? What's that girl's name?
I think it's Stephanie Cunningham. I think it is.
She's the blonde that now she's joined on that team. Now there's two white chicks that are banging it out on that team, right?
Yeah.
Now this chick is smoking everybody, but anytime they foul her, she runs over and jumps in and starts, pushing these girls off.
Yeah.
They're sticking up for each other, right?
Yeah.
But the cute one is the star of the show now, and she's getting clotheslined day after day. I mean, just like, and so the girl comes out, they called the foul on her or whatever, took her out of the game for this big Amazon clothesline, this Cunningham chick, and then went out and tweeted white privilege on X, right?
Yeah.
So everybody flipped the fuck out about that. Now, the owner of the WNBA was so washed in wokeism on this fucking, hey, we don't care if you're hey, we're not gonna meddle into this transgender bullshit, right? So they painted a real gray picture over it. But now these two guys that were, I think, the top of their shooting on the teams that they were on,
they weren't that good at guys, but they were guys.
Oh, they weren't, because the radio really played them up like they were fucking hot shots.
There's 350 NBA players that play on the NBA. They're great players, but they're nothing crazy.
I'll tell you what happened was these guys were paid money to go over there to force this rule, because they've been fighting for this in Congress, that there's no fucking men in women's sports and there's no women in men's sports due to fucking gender changing, right? They've been fighting this. So I guarantee these two guys were probably offered money just to go out there and be a mouthpiece and fucking throw it. I guarantee you. What's happened with the WNBA, I'll tell you this, Cole. It is sinking, and whoever owns it is losing stock. Now, what you have is Polymarket. What people are going to probably be doing right now on Polymarket is betting on fucking WNBA. It's hyped up. It's overhyped up. It's on my feed constantly. The WNBA sucks. Nobody fucking watches it. So hold on. So they amplified this into big time wrestling. You've got the good guy and you've got the villain, and you make them clash and you cause all this disturbance to get more people. I'm tuning it. Now people are starting to tune into this shit so they can make their money go up and they get people in the seats. That's all this is. It's all by design. It's such bullshit. Nobody watches the WNBA. They had a guy interviewing people when they were walking in. They said, can you give me one team member's name out there on whatever, the Valkyries or whatever the fuck their name is?
Yeah.
And the people, out of 5 people, 1 knew a player. They were just going for the fucking rah-rah wokeism, fucking go girls.
They suck.
5 people.
They suck.
1 person.
Yeah.
1 person knew 1 name on the team.
Yeah, and I thought it was like one of those things.
How dumb could you be? So I was trying to look past what they were shoving down my throat on YouTube, on X, and everything. And I'm like, but I tell you, they're doing a good job, because that Cunningham, they show her after the game and she is smoking hot. I mean, this chick is dressed like a fucking Paris model every time when she's going to the game and when she's coming out. Dude, I'm talking high slits up the thigh, showing, side tit, the whole works. I mean, it's just fucking outrageous, right? And they did say that she's a 3rd degree black belt, and she's like no fucking joke, and she's been playing basketball forever. And she was really good at something else. I forget what they said. They did a little fucking thing, but they're really pushing the shit. I took it from my dad. I really think it's a Polymarket scam called to where you could bet against this shit just to see it come back. I think they're really pushing it to get people involved, and there's no action there. It's stupid. It's these girls running back and forth. It's just not really that exciting.
It's not exciting. It became this big thing. With like I said, like Caitlin Clark claiming.
Do you see my point?
I see your point. I see your point. What my take was on it, though, Dad, was more so like hey, here's this group of women that have a basketball league.
No,
and
it's a failing business.
Well,
that business is sinking.
Well, this is my point. Was hey, here's this basketball league of this woman, and now they finally get some traction, and now they're all clawing and scratching against each other, and that's what happens when you leave a woman in charge. I'm saying it. Fucking dude, all these women are fucking coming together.
The referees aren't even calling. I mean, these chicks are just like slapping this bitch in the face, yanking her fucking hair right in front of the refs. The refs aren't
the biggest thing, like a lot of the.
This is like roller derby in the 70s. This is
some of the sports guys I listen to. They're like, "Hey, dude, this bitch Caitlin Clark's coming in. Yeah, sure, she's a white girl that fucking plays basketball, dude. But she's bringing attention to you guys, and you guys are all getting paid off of this, and they can't even stand that. They're like, hey, this bitch is getting, it's not about the money, it's about the popularity and the attention. And they're like, hey, dude, this chick's putting money in your pocket. And they're like, fuck this bitch. We're going to hit her across the face and try to punish her. And it just seems it's became a huge mess, dude. It went from like the best thing, the new thing, WNBA, and now it's just all fucked up.
Right. Well, ESPN's owned by a foreign country, and also I know the NBA is. I think China owns almost all of it, if not most of it, and WNBA, they're failing. I mean, they put too much money. They put too much money into that shit. So they gotta. Hey, we gotta have a fight. We gotta
get some ROI on this.
Fucking bombs gotta go off or something. You know, we gotta do something. So this is TV.
Hey,
this is media.
We're talking about it, so it must be working though too. Shit. You know, yeah.
Shit. WNBA equals horror shit. I ain't buying it.
I thought it was pretty interesting though, because I'm like, hey, you know, fucking all of a sudden these women get a little bit of power and they start fucking it up, just like fucking. To be expected. I don't know. That's my take. That's my fucking take.
Well,
hey, shit.
You know,
Keep it in the fucking.
I thought, why all of a sudden is everybody talking about this? I mean, it's like nobody talks about it. You know,
no one gives a fuck, dude. These chicks fucking can't play basketball, dude. I want to see fucking grown men fucking punch each other in the face, not women.
Well, Bill Burr does that comedy bit about it. It's hella funny, right? And he said, you know why nobody watches it. WNBA, he goes, I'm tired of all you women bitching about this. He goes, they're not putting asses in the seat. Nobody cares, you know, and the way he, you know, goes about it, it's really funny.
Yeah.
But anyways,
well, what about, we're about an hour in, Dad. You want to wrap it up here, dude? What about the Raiders, dude? Have you kept up to the preseason on the Raiders?
Crosby punched out Cousins, I guess, at practice.
I heard about that. I didn't do much detail on that.
I don't know. They tried to get rid of Crosby, and then they had to keep him. They canceled it. He was brokenhearted. And
what a shame, dude. Man. What a shame.
I love that dude. He's great. I follow him on a platform. He puts up cool shit.
I think they're gonna try to trade him mid-season, dude. I think they're gonna try to trade him.
That's horrible. Yeah, he's
too good. He's got too much value.
No, he wanted to stay. He didn't want to leave. He wasn't. It broke his spirit, and. You know, who knows? Maybe that quarterback's a fucking asshole, punky motherfucker knows he's leaving and probably pushes his buttons. I don't know. You know, who knows? You know,
yeah,
that's a lot of testosterone.
But what I will say is that quarterback, though, dude, preseason they come out right, opening drive of preseason, right? They always bring the starters out on both sides of offense and defense. So the Kirk Cousins is we had the number 1 overall pick, right, Dad? And they also signed this quarterback. Kirk Cousins. This guy's played for the Redskins. This guy's played for the Vikings. This guy's played for the Falcons. This guy's a seasoned veteran who's made. I think he's like the most paid quarterback of all time, just because he never won shit. He's only won a handful of playoff games.
Don't go to the Raiders.
But the coach, I think, used to coach him back in Minnesota, and they brought him on like, hey, we're gonna bring in a veteran quarterback, and we're gonna get our rookie quarterback to play. Right, or we're gonna draft this number 1 overall guy as a rookie, but we're gonna put him underneath this veteran guy, right? How it used to be, right? That's how it used to be in the Tom Brady era and shit. But this guy came out, dude. Opening drive of preseason, Dad. I've never seen a Raiders quarterback throw this good in a preseason game, dude. This guy came down, dude. I watched the highlight. No, Dad, it's starters. It's starters versus starters, dude. This guy came out, dude, and hit check down, long ball, handoff, check down, touchdown, dude. It looked fucking great, and I'm like, shit, this guy's pretty fucking. This guy can command an offense, right? He's an older dude, can command an offense. And then the second drive, they put in Mendoza, right? Our new number 1 pick. And this guy looked good. This guy looked good. But you could tell the difference from a rookie guy to a seasoned veteran. And the rookie,
always.
He was rattled, but he threw some good passes. And he looked all right, you know? So he definitely has a lot of work to do. As a rookie, you got to be rattled and be nervous. But
you got to work that shit out.
It was exciting to see the Raiders at least score a touchdown on the opening drive. Preseason's preseason, but it's always the starters versus starters in the first quarter at least, you know? And it is what it is. The Cardinals fucking suck, but I'm excited for the Raiders. I'm excited to watch some football this year, dude.
Yeah, why not? It's always good to watch in the wintertime. It's great.
So I'm going to be watching. How about you, dude?
Yeah, I'll be in there. And, you usually start watching. I'll start watching. My dad always watches. My dad still thinks Derek Carr is the greatest fucking thing since, Kenny Stabler. But hey, that's a Raider curse is, we get beat down every year and we got to come back and, gather up our hope. And, it's something cool to talk about at work and whatnot. Bullshit.
Well, and so this is what I think they're going to do, Dad, is they got Crosby on defense, right? The defense sucks still, but they got Crosby. And they invested heavily into the draft, in the offensive draft this year. They drafted a quarterback. I think they picked up a running back. They got an offense. They brought in some offensive linemen in the trade in the offseason. They brought in some defensive players, but I think their goal is, dude, we could trade Crosby. Crosby reached his fucking peak over here in Oakland. Right. We're going to trade Crosby off, get some draft capital, invest that draft capital into maybe a corner to defend some wide receivers, and and then next year I think they're going to invest in the defense heavy in the draft, and then maybe next year they'll be good. If not the year after that, they might be a title contender. I think is where they're going. And
who's our coach now, Cole? Who's the coach?
Kubiak. This guy won the Super Bowl in Seattle last year as the offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator for Seattle, and this guy fucking killed it, dude. And we actually picked up a good head coach. But this guy's an offensive coordinator from Seattle who won the Super Bowl last year. So we got hope, dude. That's the biggest thing, dude, is for our Bay Area guys, dude. The Raiders have hope. I don't think it's going to be this year. I don't quite think it's going to be next year. I think the year after that.
I'm really worn out with the rebuilding. They changed the coach, they changed the quarterback, they changed too many key players. We need some consistency with some solid guys, knowing that, all that trading, all that stuff. I really don't follow all that stuff, but it's really interesting because you teach me a lot about that stuff. I mean,
I think it's really changed, Dad.
Stuff like that.
Brady has ownership, dude. He does the in-booth shit, and they kind of crack down on Brady, and they're like, hey, dude, you can't go, because a lot of the in-booth guys that cover the games, they could go to the practices for other teams, right? And they're like, hey, Brady, you can't go to these games, dude, if you have ownership on the Raiders. And so Brady's already trying to pull some fucking New England bullshit for the Raiders, dude, because the Raiders are fucking a great organization, right? And Brady knows it. And we all fucking hate Brady, but if he's on our team, fuck it, dude.
We always love them once they come on our side,
dude. Fuck it, dude.
Yeah, who's that big Russian for Denver that came over? That guy was a fucking beast, man.
Alcedo?
No. It was that fucking guy. He was the most hated guy, and we always had to play him at Denver. He was what is it? Anyways, Cole, I don't want to fucking stall this.
Whatever, but so we have Brady on our side, and I think Brady kind of scouted this guy that we drafted number one. We had the number one pick in the draft. This guy won the national championship last year in college for Indiana, and this team in Indiana, dude, they were a fucking Indiana. It's always Georgia or Alabama or fucking Miami in the championship, and Indiana's always been a shitbag team. But Mendoza was a college quarterback for Cal Berkeley for like the first couple years, and so this kid's smart, dude. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to watching Raider football. That's all I'm saying, guys. Stay tuned.
Killer.
It should be great fucking football.
What do you got for a good weekly podcast? I got Danny Jones with Matt LaCroix. It was, apparently I was telling the guys at work, and they said it was 9 months ago. It just came across my YouTube feed at night, and I clicked on it. Super interesting. I guarantee, I highly recommend watching that, you guys. It's Matt LaCroix on Danny Jones, and it was super good. And also Justin Mooch on Sean Ryan was a really good, he rose to the international president for the Mongols Bike Club. Super humble dude now. He's not in the bike scene no more, but another guy who I seen come across YouTube. I thought, these ex, members of these big, bike gangs are kind of, there's too many of them now. They're not that interesting. It seems like it's a revolving door for these presidents and shit. They all get kicked out for some bullshit. It's really gotten smothered. YouTube's really gotten smothered with these ex guys doing shows on it.
And half these guys are like,
this is another guy I never gave a chance. He does his life story bought the book. So next week I'll give you a review on the book. I went ahead and it was $15 on Amazon.
Okay, dope, cool.
I went ahead and purchased it. It seemed like a pretty cool read. Guy had a really cool story. So Sean Ryan, it was Justin Mooch from the Mongols and Danny Jones with Matt LaCroix. So that's it for us tonight.
Well, hey, what about my fucking podcast review, dude?
Oh,
dude,
well,
you
asked
me a question. You started talking about Justin Mongol and shit.
Trying to move this thing along.
Yeah, you're all right. We got a couple minutes. Dude, like I told you, Dad, dude, you got to tune into Kill Tony, dude. This is the next best thing from fucking Howard, dude. And ho, if you're watching, dude, tune into Kill Tony. You're gonna love it, dude. It's the best. It's as good as it gets, dude. This guy drops fucking F-bombs and this guy gets racist. He gets stereotypical. This guy keeps it real and raw and uncut, and he's on YouTube still. And it's as good as it gets, dude.
I like Tony. He's funny.
Tune into Kill Tony, dude. This guy drops fucking hard bombs, dude.
I seen the clip of the Snoop roast. It was hella funny. And
that's hella old, dude. That's Tony back in the day, dude. Tony is a little skinny fag, and now he's coming out, dude.
He said Snoop looked like the California raisin on heroin.
He said some shit. He did a roast with like Martha Stewart and shit.
He said Snoop looks like Whoopi Goldberg fucked a whoopee cushion.
Dude, he's the fucking best. This dude, these guys come up here to do their 60-second their 60-second stand-up. And if they suck, dude, this guy hammers them so good. And it's just the best thing. I love listening to it when I'm driving at work, dude.
Who do you have for sponsors?
Sponsors, shit, dude. Fucking, I don't know. You go ahead and go first. I'll think of one while you go.
I can't think of one right now. Hey, you guys like and subscribe. You want a cup, put it in there. We're giving them out for free. We don't even give a shit. We're going to put another order in. It's Cole's turn to buy. I got, I don't know, maybe a dozen of these. So we're going to pass them out to our loyal followers and listeners. We love you guys. And most of all, we love doing this for you. And I love you, son. And this is great. So go ahead and take us out, Cole, and end it.
All right, that's it, guys. Love you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Sorry for the missed upload last week, but we're here this week, so see you guys next week.
Great.